I'm the Hooded Lid and welcome to my channel. Today I want to do YouTube made me buy it. And this came about quite by accident, but here we are. I have already done my sunscreen and let's just jump into the foundation and I'll tell you who talked about it and all that good stuff. This is the Wet n Wild Stick Foundation. Jen Phelps did something on this and she said it was really similar to Tom Ford. Now, you guys, I just can't buy Tom Ford products. I just think they're insanely overpriced. But if this is like that, I want to give it a try. I'm not so sure about the color. I find, for me, foundations at the drugstore, one of the biggest issues is color. But let's give it a try. So kind of putting it all over the place. You could also just pick it up with a brush and giving it a go. When I first tried this, I thought this is really good color, but at night, you know, I'd break into my product immediately and it felt like it was a little too pink on me, which can end up looking a little grayish at night. But right here in the daylight, this seems like a very nice color, I think. We'll see. Sometimes I can't tell until I get it into the computer, but this is not bad. My skin type, if you've never been here before, is not quite dry, but it sure isn't oily. It is older skin, and I think of it as skin that's just not producing the same amount of oils, or hyaluronic acid, or collagen, or elastin as it used to. So it's just skin. At this point, I feel like it's skin that's just kind of needs a push, needs a help. But I don't have flaky skin, that kind of dryness. And generally speaking, you know, when I wash my face, I put my goods on right away. So it's hard to get a sense of really what the condition of my skin is. This seems like a really nice color. The finish is hard to tell because I didn't start matte, but I like this. This is so inexpensive. I will write down my color below and then we'll see. So that's Jen Phelps. She made me buy this. Thank you, Jen. Let's do under eyes. I've used a lot of this because I really have a hard time figuring out how to distribute it. But this isn't something that is new. It's not something I saw anybody recently saying you must get it. It just seems to be an overall favorite. TARTE used to do this all the time. The color seems a little light. I don't love this. It's pretty thick, but I'm going to powder it down a little bit. I didn't buy powder. There were some powders I've heard people recommend a lot, like the Maybelline Fit Me. There's something from CoverGirl, but I have a lot of powders and I just didn't want to buy another powder. I'm just using this Tarte. This one I've had for a while. I don't remember when I got it. I got it in the last 6 months or so, and I mentioned this in my highlighter collection. I know I got this because someone recommended it, but I'm not sure who. But I'm going to disperse some on my hand and kind of pick it up with the edge. It's very pretty, and this kind of product you can use, I think, like the Hollywood filter. You can put it all over your face under your makeup, or you can put it on your high points under your makeup, or you can put it on after your makeup like I am. And I think this is really fresh and lovely. It's a very subtle look. If you're looking to be seen from outer space, you're going to be disappointed. It's not quite as much as the Charlotte Tilbury Spotlight highlighter, which I really enjoy. It's a little bit more natural looking, but nothing wrong with that. So whoever recommended this, thank you. If you're looking for a very subtle highlight, this is the way to go. Something very natural. For instance, if you're using a matte foundation and you want just a little bit something so you don't look quite so dead, this would be perfect. It's not going to make you look shiny or obvious, but it adds a lot of freshness. Usually I go in with my eyes right after my foundation. I don't, but it's weird. I've noticed when I'm doing these kind of videos, I do everything else but the eyes. This, by Physicians Formula, I can't remember who recommended this. I wish I could. I do remember that it was months ago and I started looking for it because I love a liquid blush. Unfortunately, this only comes in two colors, a peach color and a pink color. And that's the color. And it's kind of light. This, I think for my skin tone, will just give you a natural look. But if you are darker than me, I'm not sure this is going to do much of anything for you. And just a little stippling brush. Just give you a little flushy flush. Again, I'm getting a pretty natural look, and I'm not mad about it at all. I wanted to show you something. When I was trying this out the other day, I thought, I wonder if it's similar to the NARS Orgasm liquid, because they're both pretty pink. The NARS Orgasm is even more potent, like you need a pinpoint of that. And the NARS Orgasm, I would say, I mean, this is still wet. This is not shine from the product itself. The Orgasm is a darker pink, but I'd say that the pinks are the same. It's just this is darker. As you may know, I love to use this on my foundations that are too yellow. I will just mix it into my foundation. So now I have another mixer. And this is a lot less expensive than this, although for a drugstore, this isn't cheap. But yeah, it's just fresh. We're just doing fresh, right? Okay, now for the product that started the whole idea of doing a YouTube Made Me Buy It. We've all seen these before, and you know, I guess they're fun to watch. But when I saw Mandy, MUA, do her video the other day of her favorites, I couldn't believe how beautiful her eyes looked. I'm like, what is going on in your eyeballs? I need to know. Luckily, she mentioned what it was, and it was this, which was one of her favorites for this month. This is not a new palette, but I have never tried an Essence palette before, and it's only $9, and it looked great on her, so I thought I would go and pick it up. And then later on that day, I saw Angie from Hot and Flashy mention this sunscreen in the tinted version, and I bought this, and it was a holy disaster, and I probably have loaded that before I've loaded this, so take a look of that. And then once I got those two, I was thinking, well, why don't I just do the whole thing? And I remember that Jen Phelps talked about this, and somebody talked about this, and that's how I got here. The look that Mandy Davis got is not a look I'm going to be able to get because her eyes are absolutely 100% opposite of mine. When she put something on her lid, you can see it. And she put this beautiful peach on her lid, and then she mixed, I think, these two colors for the crease, and it was simple and yet just beautiful. For me, I can't do that. But what I love about this is it kind of reminds me, and I returned the palette so I can't do a swatch, but this really, really reminds me, especially if you take out this purple, of the Afterglow from NARS. It has the peach, it has the pink, it has a couple of neutral colors, it has this hot pink. It doesn't have the shimmers, which were the stars of that palette, and part of the reason I returned it is because I went through my own palettes and I felt like I had those in other palettes. Unfortunately, I didn't film that or write notes, so I can't remember specifically. But I'm going to do what she did, which is this beautiful peachy color. So springy, all over the lid. Just slap it on. I played with this palette a couple of times already, and I've noticed that you can get very soft, unspecific, hazy, dreamy looks out of it very easily. If you're looking for an articulated look, I think you could probably do that too, but most of these colors are very mid-tone. This is a dark tone to me. If you take that out, and this looks like it could be a dark tone, but it doesn't read incredibly dark. So I'm going to take this one and just kind of do the receding of the hood. The powders are very nice. They don't fall over your face, and they last, and they don't blend in together. You know how some of the less expensive palettes, the minute you start brushing them on, they all blend together and it becomes muddy and messy, and I don't experience that with this one. I think the pigmentation is good. You have to keep in mind that these are lighter colors, but you're getting payoff. It's spring. I'm going to go with this lavender and kind of put it in the crease, my so-called crease. I'm just using a light hand. And I think I'm going to go back in with the lavender for under the eyes. It's just a very dreamy, sweet, springy, soft look that I am here for. I want to get a flat brush and go in with that peach again, just so I can see that near the lash line. The payoff's a little bit better, and there is a shimmer, but it's not too shimmery, which I kind of appreciate, honestly. Let's do some swatches. I want to do some swatches for you, but I'm very, very white, and these are very pale, so some of them are probably not going to read, but let's do the first three. That's a very pretty gold color. This is the peach and the brown, which will finish the first row. That's the peach. Isn't that pretty? And the brown. I don't know if you can see these. These are so pretty, so springy. And then the second row. Let's see. Oh, my skin is so dry. It's not picking up. But that second row is also really pretty. It has more vibrancy to it. So these are like your basics. And then here's your vibrant colors. And you have a deeper pink and a lighter pink and a lavender. And I just don't think there's anything to not like about this palette. It's such a pretty spring idea. Now, Lash Paradise, everybody talks about this. Just everybody I've ever watched, you can say recommended this. It's nothing new, but I was out, so I figured I'd do that because I know this mascara. And I'm very fussy with my mascaras. It's not my favorite look. The Kush remains my favorite look. It just ends up all over my face. Alright, lips, I didn't buy anything specifically for this video, but I did buy these several weeks ago because Ali Glines recommended these. It was an older video, I think, and these are colors that I bought when it was still freezing outside. Obviously, it's not anymore, and it was very fall-like, so not really springy, but let's see if we can make it work. They're really comfortable, though, and I'm almost done. I hope you'll forgive me if I go ahead and use my own powder. I'm going with the By Terry, and it's just because I'm feeling a little bit shiny on the cheeks. Oof, should have knocked some of that off. And a little bit shiny on the forehead. I just want to knock it down a little bit. This is not a mattifying powder. I really, 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 really love this palette and think I'll be going to this a lot this spring. The mascara, yes. The lipstick, it might be a little too fall, so I might have to get another one. This foundation, absolutely, I'm going to keep on playing with this. I'll see what it looks like when I put it into the computer, if it's a good color or not, but really like. This is such a pretty highlight. I don't know if you can see what's going on here. Very, 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 very pretty. Subtle. It's more subtle than my Charlotte Tilbury, which I adore, but for an everyday look, it's still there. I mean, it is undeniable from my mirror. This is on, and it's giving me a nice highlight. This, for me, it's a little heavy. It has its place. It's hard to disperse. I don't understand what my issue is. I'm halfway done with it, and I really don't wear it very often. And I think I used it when I was doing a video on contouring, so I probably used a lot on my face. It's a little much for me. It's a little bit drying, a little bit heavy, but it's fine. And if you're on a budget, and if you're not dry, maybe even if you're a little oily, the coverage is good. The blush. The blush I think will be very useful to me for mixing with my foundations that are too yellow. It's not as pink, but it is the same pink as the Orgasm. This is a little bit darker. For me, it's a very, very natural look. I already have a lot of pinkness in my cheeks, so it's not giving me much more than what I already have. And it's around the same color. It's too bad there's only 2 colors here, but the product itself is good. I think this color would work for you if you are my color or more fair than me. And look, if this was I'm in a hurry kind of a thing, I would put this on my cheeks and around my eyes, and I would be kind of done with the color. I would just kind of line my eyes and maybe put on some mascara. And yeah, palette. I really, 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 really like this. Really like this. I'm so happy. This is the discovery. I have to say, of everything here, these are the 2 discoveries that I am so thrilled to have made. And we'll see how the foundation goes. If the light is okay, I might come back and show you if it breaks down or anything. I have no idea if it's long wearing, but yeah, you too, maybe buy it. Thanks for spending a little time with me. I hope you found it a little fun, and I hope you come back again. Until the meantime, I'm wishing you a great day.